Welcome to my Antalya travel guide, where I'll share everything you need to know before visiting, tips, must-see spots, local food, and cultural insights from my own travel experience. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video if you find it helpful, and make sure to subscribe to my channel for more travel content. If you have any questions or need more information, feel free to drop a comment below. I'm happy to help. Antalya is known for its stunning beaches, turquoise waters, and dramatic Taurus mountains that form a beautiful backdrop to the city. Located on the southwestern coast of Turkey, it sits along the Mediterranean and is part of the Turkish Riviera. Historically, it was an important port city during Roman times and is home to ancient sites like Hadrian's Gate and the old town of Kaleiçi. The region offers a mix of historical landmarks, natural beauty, and a vibrant coastal atmosphere. Tourists can enjoy everything from sunbathing on Lara Beach to exploring ancient ruins, hiking in national parks, and tasting rich Turkish cuisine. Antalya is served by Antalya Airport AYT, which is located about 13 kilometers from the city center and connects to many major cities around the world. You can take a taxi, use ride-sharing services like Uber available in some areas, or hop on affordable shuttle buses and Havaş services for airport transfers. While there's no direct train to Antalya, you can reach nearby cities by rail and then drive or bus into Antalya. If you're road tripping through Turkey, driving from cities like Istanbul or Cappadocia offers scenic routes and flexibility. Some visitors also arrive by cruise ship, as Antalya has a port that welcomes international cruises. Renting a car is a great option if you plan to visit nearby places like Temessos, Olympos, or the ancient city of Fergare. Within the city, Antalya's public tram and bus network is reliable and covers most popular attractions. Many parts of the old town Kaleiçi and the marina are very walkable, perfect for exploring on foot. You can also rent bicycles or electric scooters, which are popular and convenient for short distances. Don't miss a boat tour from the harbor to see Antalya's coastline and waterfalls from the sea. The local currency is the Turkish lira, and it's best to have some cash for smaller shops and local markets. Turkish is the official language, but in tourist areas, many people speak basic English, especially in restaurants and hotels. Most travelers from Europe and several other countries can enter Turkey with an e-visa or even visa-free for short stays. Check online before your trip. Respect for Turkish culture is important. Dressing modestly when visiting mosques and being polite to locals goes a long way. It's also helpful to know that tipping is common in restaurants and service industries, usually around 5 to 10%. Exploring the Antalya walled city Old Town, I wandered through the cobbled streets of Kaleiçi, where Ottoman houses, boutique shops, and lively cafes brought history to life. At the lower Judan waterfalls, I watched water dramatically plunge into the Mediterranean, with sea spray misting my face during a peaceful boat ride. Köprülü Canyon National Park offered an adrenaline rush with whitewater rafting, and the natural scenery was breathtaking during a riverside hike. I spent a full day at the Land of Legends, enjoying thrilling roller coasters, shopping, and a magical water show at night. Strolling around the old town marina, I admired colorful boats and sipped Turkish tea with a sea view. At the upper Judan waterfalls, I stood behind the curtain of water in a natural cave, completely mesmerized by the sound and power. Gülük Mountain National Park felt like a hidden treasure, with pine forests and Roman ruins waiting to be discovered. Visiting the Antalya Aquarium, I walked through one of the world's longest tunnel aquariums, surrounded by sharks and tropical fish. Passing through Hadrian's Gate, I felt like I stepped back into Roman times, imagining how the emperor himself once walked through it. Kuşunlu Waterfall was a serene escape from the city, with emerald pools and the soothing sound of cascading water. Hiking in Beydargları Coastal National Park, I caught panoramic views of the sea and mountains that left me speechless. Riding the Tünektepe cable car, I enjoyed a stunning aerial view of Antalya's coastline and dined at the Mountaintop Cafe. The Aspendos Theatre amazed me with its nearly perfect acoustics and grandeur. I even caught a rehearsal of a classical concert. At Manavgat Waterfall, the power of the water was impressive, and I relaxed in nearby tea garden surrounded by greenery. Exploring the massive Karahan Cave, I felt the weight of thousands of years of human history carved into its limestone walls. Antalya Beach Park was the perfect spot to unwind with beach lounges, cafes, and views of the Mediterranean. Walking the ancient streets of Fairgare ancient city, I was captivated by the preserved columns, baths, and stadium. On Konyaaltı beach, I spent a relaxing afternoon sunbathing, swimming, and watching the sunset behind the mountains. Inside Damlataş Cave, the humidity and mineral-rich air made it feel like a natural spa, and the stalactites were incredible. At Republic Square Cumhuriyet Meydanı, I admired Ataturk's statue and took in the panoramic view over the marina and sea. Hiking up to Temessos, I explored a mountaintop ancient city shrouded in forest, with views that felt like a reward for the climb. Lara Beach offered soft sand, turquoise waves, and a buzzing beach club scene that kept me energized all day. Deep inside Dim Cave, I was stunned by the enormous chambers and colorful lighting that revealed nature's slow handiwork. The Yivli Minaret Mosque, with its striking fluted minaret, stood out as a symbol of the city's Islamic heritage. Visiting the coastal ruins of Fezlice, I swam in crystal-clear bays where ancient Roman ships once docked. I loved the wide stretch of golden sand at Patara Beach, and seeing baby turtles near the dunes was unforgettable. Trekking through Sarpadere Canyon, I crossed wooden bridges over rushing water and cooled off under small waterfalls. The Şehzade Korkut Mosque reflected layers of history, with both Seljuk and Ottoman architectural elements. In Myra ancient city, I marveled at the rock-cut tombs and well-preserved Roman theatre under a blazing sun. Standing at Karputaş Beach, the turquoise waters below steep cliffs were as photogenic as any tropical island I visited. A boat ride near the Oymapınar Dam revealed deep blue waters and dramatic cliffs, making for a peaceful cruise. The view from Hederlik Tower during sunset painted the sky in pastels and offered the perfect end to a day in Kaleiçi. Exploring Olympos, I loved how ancient ruins and lush forest blended seamlessly near the beach. At Çırağlı Beach, I watched the eternal flames of the Chimera after dark, flickering mysteriously from the rocks. Climbing in Geyikbayırı, one of Turkey's top climbing spots, I tested my limits against towering limestone walls. The Antalya Museum brought everything together with impressive archaeological finds from across the region, perfectly curated. In Side ancient city, I wandered through temple ruins by the sea and took photos of the majestic Apollo temple at sunset. Kayaking in Adrasan Bay, I glided over clear waters surrounded by untouched nature. Hiking a section of the Lycian Way, I passed ancient tombs and enjoyed dramatic sea views with barely another soul around. Exploring Xanthos, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, I discovered ancient Lycian inscriptions and monuments. A boat tour to Suluada Island took me to what felt like the Maldives of Turkey, white sand and surreal turquoise waters. Hiking to Gelidonia Lighthouse, I was rewarded with one of the most breathtaking panoramic views of the Mediterranean and the Five Islands, after a peaceful trek through pine forests. At Marali Bay in Finike, I swam in turquoise waters and kayaked into hidden sea caves that felt like secret chambers of the coastline. Mavi Kent Beach offered a quiet, untouched stretch of golden sand where I spent hours swimming and relaxing without crowds in sight. At Papaz Key, I dived off the rocky edge into deep, crystal-clear water and enjoyed one of the calmest, most serene moments of my trip. Trekking around Arakanda, I enjoyed the solitude among Roman ruins nestled in the forested mountains. Visiting the Kekava sunken city, I peered down through the boat's glass bottom at submerged ruins of an ancient settlement. In Limera, I wandered among sarcophagi and stone bridges in a peaceful, unspoiled sight. Taking the cable car up Tatali Mountain, I reached snow-covered peaks above the sea, one of the most epic contrasts I've seen. At Antalya Actor Park, I let loose and rode the Ferris wheel for fun night views of the city. Wandering through Antifelis in Kaş, I was captivated by the ancient theatre overlooking the sea. Climbing through Silion, I admired the ancient fortifications and wildflowers growing among the stones. And finally, arriving at Semena Kaleiçi by boat, I hiked up to the castle for a postcard-perfect view over the sunken city and turquoise bays below. Swimming in the crystal-clear waters of the Mediterranean was one of the most refreshing ways to start my mornings, especially with the sun warming the surface. Hiking scenic trails through lush pine forests and rugged mountain paths gave me panoramic views that felt straight out of a postcard. I explored ancient ruins where stone walls whispered stories of empires long gone, some even recognized by UNESCO for their significance. Tasting freshly made gözleme with herbs and cheese, juicy kebabs straight off the grill, and cold seafood mezes with a view of the sea became a daily ritual. Snorkeling in hidden coves revealed colorful fish, curious sea creatures, and surreal underwater rock formations. I spent one magical night camping under a sky filled with stars, lulled to sleep by the sound of waves crashing nearby. Walking through centuries-old theaters and tombs, then diving into nearby museums, helped me connect the dots of Antalya's rich past. Browsing vibrant markets full of spices, handmade jewelry, and embroidered textiles gave me a true sense of local craftsmanship. Kayaking near towering cliffs allowed me to feel both exhilarated and at peace. Taking a road trip through winding coastal roads, I stopped often just to take in the view or have a spontaneous swim. I joined a passionate guide who told fascinating stories of Lycian legends and Roman power, making the ruins come alive in my imagination. At seaside cafes, sipping strong Turkish tea or creamy coffee while people watching became one of my favorite slow moments. Cruising along the coastline on a traditional wooden boat, I jumped into sparkling bays and enjoyed grilled fish on deck. Trekking a section of a famous long-distance trail, I passed ancient tombs, shepherds with their flocks, and wildflowers in bloom. In quiet coastal villages, I wandered narrow alleys lined with whitewashed houses, pomegranate trees, and cats lounging in the sun. A day at a water park brought out my inner child with adrenaline-filled slides and lazy river relaxation. Scuba diving took me to a surreal world of underwater ruins and living coral reefs. I clambered through canyons with turquoise pools, echoing caves, and wild waterfalls that invited spontaneous dips. One evening, I sat in a small amphitheater to watch a traditional folk dance performance full of rhythm and color. After days of adventure, I indulged in a steamy Turkish bath, followed by a foam massage and mint tea in the lounge. Rafting down a wild river, I shouted with joy as we bounced through the rapids surrounded by cliffs. Waking up early to catch the sunrise from a quiet mountaintop felt sacred, just me, the breeze, and golden light spilling across the land. Canyoning through narrow gorges, sliding down rock faces into clear pools, gave me the thrill I didn't know I needed. I spotted mountain goats, birds of prey, and shy tortoises while exploring protected nature trails. Relaxing on a secluded pebble beach, I felt like I had the coast all to myself. Waterfalls hidden in dense greenery offered cool mist and the perfect picnic backdrop. Stand-up paddleboarding on calm, turquoise waters gave me time to reflect and soak in the silence. Soaring above the coastline while paragliding was one of the most freeing experiences of my life. I ended one day on a sunset cruise with music, laughter, and shared plates of olives and grilled vegetables. Cycling through olive groves and peaceful villages, I got lost in the rhythm of the road, the scent of herbs, and the smiles of locals along the way. Wandering through Kaleiçi, the heart of Antalya city, I was captivated by its blend of Ottoman houses, Roman walls, and a charming marina filled with colorful boats. In Alanya, I relaxed on expansive beaches and hiked to a hilltop castle with sweeping views over the turquoise coast. Kema offered the perfect mix of lively nightlife and scenic mountain-back beaches where I could unwind during the day. I explored ancient ruins right by the sea in Side, where the Temple of Apollo became even more magical at sunset. Belek was ideal for a luxurious retreat, with world-class golf resorts, spa hotels, and pristine beaches. In Kaş, I found a laid-back town full of boutique charm, ideal for diving, boat tours, and evenings at cozy rooftop cafes. Just next door, Kalkan offered romantic hillside views and elegant restaurants overlooking the bay. I loved the quiet and authenticity of Çırağlı, where sea turtles nest and ruins are scattered just steps from the beach. Adrasan felt like a hidden paradise, where calm waters and pine-covered hills invited total relaxation. Driving through filmmaker, I enjoyed the peaceful vibe of this lesser-known town famous for its sweet oranges. In Demre, I visited ancient rock-cut tombs and the Church of St. Nicholas, soaking in both history and legend. Manavgat impressed me with its vibrant riverside markets and a beautiful waterfall just outside the city. Gazipaşa had an untouched feel, with natural beaches and quiet villages offering a glimpse of local life. Nestled between the mountains and sea, Beldebi was a peaceful spot to enjoying nature and all-inclusive comfort. I explored lush canyons and took scenic hikes in Goanuk, which turned out to be a great base for outdoor adventures. Çamlıca was all about calm coves, beachside strolls, and soaking in the sun away from crowds. From Kaş, I took a memorable day trip by ferry to Castellorizo, a tiny Greek island just across the water, where colorful houses lined the harbor and the blend of cultures was a joy to experience. One of the most memorable parts of my trip to Antalya was experiencing the warmth and hospitality of the locals. I had the chance to attend a local festival where traditional folk dances and music brought the streets to life. Joining a family-run cooking workshop, I learned how to prepare authentic Turkish dishes like börek and lentil soup. It's important to greet locals with a friendly smile and a simple merhaba, and always remove your shoes when entering someone's home. When visiting mosques or sacred sites, showing respect through modest dress and quiet behavior is appreciated and essential. Antalya is a year-round destination, but each season offers something different depending on what kind of traveler you are. Summer is hot and lively, perfect for beach lovers, though July and August can get quite crowded. Spring and autumn were my personal favorites, with warm weather, fewer tourists, and ideal conditions for sightseeing and hiking. Winter in Antalya is mild compared to much of Europe, and I enjoyed peaceful walks by the sea and visiting historical sites without the crowds. No matter the season, Antalya has something beautiful and inviting to offer. Compared to major European destinations, Antalya felt quite affordable, especially when it came to food and transportation. I found meals at local restaurants to be delicious and reasonably priced, especially when opting for Turkish cuisine. Accommodations ranged widely, with luxury resorts being more expensive, but still cheaper than similar options in France or Italy. Activities like boat tours and museum visits were priced fairly, while public transport made it easy to get around without breaking the bank. Overall, Antalya offered excellent value for the experience, especially when compared to cities like Paris or Rome. Yes, Antalya has plenty of great options for travelers on a budget. I stayed in charming guest houses and boutique hostels in the old town that were both affordable and full of character. Street food like dürüm and simit made for cheap and tasty meals, and local restaurants offered generous portions at low prices. Many of the city's best attractions, like beaches, old town streets, and scenic hikes, were completely free. I also used public trams and buses, which were efficient and cost less than a couple of euros per ride. During summer, I wore light and breathable clothes, while in winter I only needed a light jacket, as the climate stayed fairly mild. When visiting religious places, I always made sure to cover my shoulders and knees, and women were advised to carry a scarf to cover their heads if entering a mosque. The general dress code in Antalya is relaxed, especially at the beach, but it's respectful to dress modestly in more traditional neighborhoods. In spring and fall, layers work best as temperatures change throughout the day. Comfortable shoes were essential for walking around old towns and archaeological sites. The city center of Antalya, especially the old town area, is the heart of the action and where I spent most of my time. Kaleiçi is filled with boutique hotels, cafes, and historical landmarks that make it the perfect base for exploring. Nearby, I found beaches, shopping streets, museums, and the harbor all within walking distance. Major tourist hubs like Lara and Konyaaltı offered beautiful beachside stays and easy access to the city. These areas made getting around simple and allowed me to balance relaxing at the beach with exploring Antalya's cultural and historical gems. Eating in Antalya was one of the highlights of my trip, from sizzling kebabs and savory gözleme to fresh seafood served with stunning sea views. I tried traditional dishes like piyaz with tahine and grilled lamb kefte that were bursting with flavor. For vegan options, I found plenty of delicious mezes, stuffed vine leaves, lentil soup, and fresh salads at most restaurants. I treated myself to a meal at a Michelin-starred restaurant and was blown away by the creative twist on Turkish flavors. The street food was also amazing, especially dürüm wraps, roasted chestnuts, and fresh pomegranate juice on the go. Shopping in Antalya was a colorful and fun experience, especially in local bazaars where handmade ceramics, carpets, and spices caught my eye. I picked up some beautiful souvenirs like olive oil soap, Turkish delight, and traditional evil eye charms for friends and family. The craftsmanship in the jewelry and copperware stalls was impressive, and I ended up buying a hand-painted plate as a keepsake. Bargaining is expected in markets, and I actually enjoyed the friendly back and forth. It felt like part of the cultural experience. Locally made textiles and leather goods also made for high quality and unique gifts. I stayed in a boutique hotel in Kaleiçi, which was full of charm and put me within walking distance of beaches, restaurants, and historic sites. For those seeking luxury, there are stunning resort hotels along Lara and Galip with private beaches, pools, and spa facilities. Kalkan and Kaş offered cozy guest houses with sea views that felt both relaxed and authentic. I also tried an Airbnb apartment, which was a great budget option and made me feel like a local. Whether you're looking for 5-star pampering or a quiet place in nature, Antalya has a wide range of accommodations. Antalya's nightlife was more diverse than I expected, with options for every mood and style. I enjoyed sipping local wines in a cozy bar in Kaleiçi and later danced the night away in a lively beach club by the water. There are rooftop lounges with chill music and sea views, perfect for unwinding after a long day. For a more authentic vibe, I visited a meyhane where locals gathered for music, rakı, and conversation. Whether you're into energetic clubs or relaxed cafes, Antalya has a great balance of nightlife experiences. Even in a short 2 to 3 day stay, I was able to explore the old town, visit a couple of waterfalls, and enjoy some beach time. But staying for a week or more gave me the freedom to take day trips to ancient cities, hike nature trails, and explore the coastline more deeply. A longer visit allowed me to slow down and really soak in the culture and rhythm of the region. Antalya also makes a great base for exploring nearby destinations like Kaş, Olympos, or Pamukkale. The more time you have, the richer and more varied your experience becomes. As a solo traveler, I felt very safe walking around Antalya, even at night in the old town or along the marina. Women travelers seemed comfortable exploring alone, and I saw many doing the same throughout the city. I was cautious around tourist-heavy areas to avoid minor scams, like overpriced taxis or pushy vendors, but nothing felt threatening. It's always smart to keep your belongings close and agree on prices beforehand. In case of an emergency, dialing 112 connects you to all emergency services in Turkey. Absolutely, Antalya is one of those places that truly has it all: beaches, history, nature, food, and warm hospitality. I was constantly amazed by how much I could see and do within such a short distance, from Roman ruins to mountain hikes to luxury beach clubs. It offers an excellent mix of adventure and relaxation at a great value, especially compared to other Mediterranean destinations. The blend of ancient charm and modern comfort made every day of my stay feel special. Whether you're visiting for a weekend or a couple of weeks, Antalya is definitely worth it. Thanks for watching my Antalya travel guide. Whether you're planning a short trip or a long stay, I hope this gave you all the info you need. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and share, and hit that subscribe button for more travel adventures. Got questions or need extra tips? Just leave a comment, I'm always here to help.